Come on over here. Come on over here. No, you flipped me off. Come on, coward. No, no, no. Come on. You're not an intellectual. You're a fake and a fraud. I'm so fucking scared right now.
Welcome back to Sketch Gaming, you beautiful, beautiful people. How have you guys been? I'm sorry I was away for longer than, I intended. I've got a pretty good excuse.
I have a cancer.
Since the surgery I've had a few months ago, I'm healing really well, as you can see, and I'm back on the chemo. So it's just been hard juggling everything. And, well, actually juggling. My movement's getting back there. I'm pretty good. Still got nerve damage, but anyway. Over the past few weeks, we've had over 100,000 views, which is insane. Hundreds of new subscribers. So I guess, if you're new, don't forget like, subscribe. And if you're into my goddamn thing, which you are, ring my goddamn ding. War of the Worlds, a franchise I thought would never get a video game, and yet here we are. Now, when we say War of the Worlds, what are you guys imagining? Is it the 1950s classics with the, the miniature models and the snake-like necks, like the or is it the Steven Spielberg adaptation with like the crazy reimagined tripods just like straight up vaporizing people?
I started blasting. Bang!
There's also a TV show that was made back a few years ago that I haven't really seen, and probably a load of other books and other adaptations that didn't do so well. But I digress. The one we're talking about today that the game is based on is the one Steven Spielberg made back in 2012. You know, the one with this guy. I still can't believe he did that, man. Oh, I want a sequel, goddammit. Now, when Steven Spielberg was making this film, there was a lot of controversy around it. Because of a lot of the adaptations, they were like, no, don't ruin it. It's a classic, yada yada. But I actually think it's a solid remake and actually stays true to the 1950s, especially the ending. Not only was there a new whole look for the Martians and the aliens, but the lore and the new designs, they were really cool. Now, my guy Void Boy has kindly let us take some stream highlights of his recent Q&As with the devs, and I've been following the development of this game for years, and we're actually going to get to see interviews of the devs themselves. If you want to watch the full interview on Voidboy's channel, go check out the link in the description. And if you want to look at the whole journey this game's had, go check out the actual official channel. So without further ado, we're going to be looking at all the recent gameplay the devs have released. So we'll talk about the environment, the tripods themselves, and the details the devs have shared. So yeah, I guess strap in, lads. It's going to be spicy. War of the Worlds is a new horror survival game. You are going to be spawning in as the tripods rise and take over the world. Looking at the recent footage, you will have a health bar, a food bar, a water bar, and a sleep system, with the abilities to craft and hunt as you try and beat however many days you can outlast and survive the Martian attack. It's also going to have in-game events from the actual tripods arriving and uprising to the classic ferry scene you saw from the 2012 film. It looks insane. Now, before we start getting deep into the game, yes, you can pilot the tripods. It's absolutely mad. I know you guys are waiting for it. You can absolutely pilot the tripods and it looks awesome. The details the devs have shown is just incredible and just really fascinating.
They just look freaking awesome. And that's what I was so excited. I was like curious how you guys would come up as a team with your own tripods, and they look badass. I love them. I think I like them more than the O5s.
It's really hard, like, when you're playing with them, you're like, oh, these are way better. And then when you play with the O5s, you're like, oh, this is like classic, like.
Yeah, you get the both of
them. Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite, but we were able to create something that is like, up there with the O5, and it's not something that feels like a ripoff or something that's like half-assed or, can't keep up with the original.
Yeah. Like, there's so much detail to it. It just looks awesome.
This is like one of the more final like concept arts, but the first one is like you can see like where it was going, but like it's changed so much. And
Looks so good.
The bits on the neck, and then like
Yeah.
how that like changed into more of like a sort of rib cage that opens up with these tubes coming out.
Now, apparently, this is going to be online. I don't know if it's humans against aliens, or if it's humans against AI, or if the AI are humans and you're the aliens, but for now, let's just look at the recent gameplay that's just been released. Alright lads, imagine this. From witnessing the tripods rise up from beneath the ground, you loot up, grab whatever car you can find, and try your best to survive the invasion. Now this looks incredible. There are a lot of vehicles that are shown that you can drive, like pickup trucks, the cars, and maybe even bicycles that we saw from the earlier footage a couple years ago. But this caravan Winnebago deal they got going on looks awesome. Just seeing it winding up the roads as you try and find camp and evade the tripods deep into the wilderness, it's chef's kiss. Now it looks like we're going to have crafting and cooking functions in this game, and you can probably do them straight out of your mobile home. And I'm pretty sure the camper van is going to be equipped with a bed too, you know, as we said before with the whole, you know, sleep system. Now you can spawn into this game with multiple spawn locations, you're goddamn right. You have random spots to choose from that will make the replayability so spicy.
The start of the game is always different because you spawn random places.
Cool.
You know, if there happens to be a radio there, like you can listen to the dialogue and change the channels and stuff. It's not like a hard start for the game. Like you're not always gonna have the same start. You'll always start somewhere different. You know, you have a lot of settings where you can change the time of day that you start at, and whether you start before the storm or after the storm. So it's I try to make it different, you know, every time you play, because you want it to be replayable. You want it to be like a different experience every time. So I tried to stay away from like campaign and story mode, because that's a lot of work, and then it's like, you know, most people are just gonna play it once and then it's over. But I want to make something that's like sustainable, that's replayable and dynamic.
So to sum it up, it's a horror survival game where you can explore, loot, and interact with NPCs as you try to survive. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but what we've seen so far, it's getting me bricked up. Now, we'll come back to the NPCs and stuff later, but for now, let's talk about the environment. We're going to have random events like rock falling events, jets flying overhead, live plane crashes, or even mini nuclear explosions in the distance. It looks insane. Oh man, this just looks awesome, man. People running for their lives, being vaporized with their clothes left behind, to tripods walking in formation, but most of all, one of my favorite scenes from the movie, the ferry attack. As we're talking about the environment, animals, you're goddamn right. We've got wolves, deers, and bears.
Fucking crazy 800-pound silverback
What's wrong
bursting
with
through the
people?
trees. Just bang!
You see how easy it is to add bears, you know, like apex predators. You see how easy it is? You see? Go check out my latest upload. Appreciate it, lads. Anyways, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to hunt these and, you know, collect materials.
Just come to make sure your baby's okay.
Also, seeing a few of the recent clips that we've been shown, it looks like we've got a decent pile of weapons to play with, ranging from melee weapons like axes to like guns, rifles, and pistols. It looks insane.
Someone cooked here.
Wow. Okay. You know what? What a huge jump from the last time I saw the character creator. Did you make these, or did you pull this from somewhere? Like, is it an asset?
Yeah, I added character customization because I don't know if you ever played Project Zomboid.
Oh
But,
yeah, I still didn't get around to that.
It's just a great game. Like you can have different characters every playthrough, like whether it's like a look or you can add certain traits and things. And I really want to add that kind of system to the game where you can, you know, have traits and things that, you know, benefit you or slow you down.
Now, the most important things these games need to have is a solid environment that feels alive, and the devs have absolutely smashed it. To stormy nights with moist rain hitting the tarmac, to a snowy blizzard, making it more spicy to survive. There's even going to be procedurally generated vines appearing around the map. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, when the Martians invaded in the movies, these red vines that started appearing everywhere that was pretty, it used to freak me out as a kid. So the red vines appearing around the map, it looks really goddamn cool. So with the in-game events, weather effects, and the animals, and even including the interactable NPCs, this game is looking goddamn solid. But to top it all off, a game can't be decent without great sound effects, and the devs here have absolutely cooked. Huge machinery whirring as the tripods loom over you, to the quiet countryside, hearing the wildlife and the breeze blow through the trees. It really has a solid atmosphere, whether you're in the middle of an all-out war with the Martians, or hearing the terrifying screams of the people getting vaporized, stuff straight out of nightmares. Sound is important, and the devs here, they have nailed it. It's just 10 out of 10. Again, if you're watching this, the game looks absolutely fantastic. Anyway, getting back to the tripods, you can actually pilot them.
Oh my gosh. And did you render these in like Blender? Is that what you work in?
Yeah, so here is like the actual model right
Wow.
here.
Wow.
And here's like, so like almost all of it is like normal mapping. Like,
That just shows the power of good texturing and good artistry. Only been modeling, what, for like 2 years now? Or 3 years or something.
yeah.
And he's like, look at this.
Here you go. I figured it out.
Yeah, of course the whole worry was copyright, right? So you have this like incredible design by ILM. One of the first decisions was to make sure that design had its own specific characteristics to it, like these vents, for example. They will glow more when it like charges the heat rays, so it's like walking around like it's using more power, so they'll like glow more.
That's so
the other
sick.
thing was to change the profile of the head. So the 2005 head, as you go, it kind of goes straight back, like.
Yeah.
So here it was like, let's give it like a curve.
This whole design, I think we've talked about it before, but it looks more aquatic.
Yeah, it's based more on like crustaceans.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it looks like something that could easily maneuver underwater.
You know, a big thing was like when we first showed the like first concept arts, we got a lot of flack, people saying like, oh, you're still gonna get copyrighted, like it's not original enough. And like the whole point is to stay like where you can see the influence and you can recognize like it's meant to be something different and on its own, but like we still want to take inspiration from those same like sea creatures and jellyfish and like use the same, you know, movement and stuff.
Yeah.
So we wanted to keep it, you know, really close, but also like this is something completely new.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you've seen the film, you've got harvesting, like the probe, you've got sucking people up in cages, you've got like the movement of the tentacles or the tentacles, you know, that suck up all the people. It looks awesome. These devs didn't hold back. It's all in the game. It's crazy how much they haven't left out. Like, I remember watching this for the first time, and just my reaction was just like, oh my god, it's in the game. Oh my god, that's in the game. And everything's in the game. It's insane. I think my favorite thing about the tripods is the probe. Now, if you don't remember, the probe in the film was that long, weird snake cobra looking thing that kind of whirs around in the basement where they're trapped and hiding from the aliens, and it's just kind of probing around and looking for the humans, you know, sneaking around. It's like the humans are like rats and it's just like probing them. It looks so cool. You also get a clip of the guy using an axe to chop the probe in half, just like he did in the film. It looks so goddamn cool. I also like the fish lens that they've like kind of put on the camera, like that GoPro like fish lens thing they've got going on. Now you can die many ways in this game. You can get like vaporized or like sucked up or even just blown up. but I love the way that you can get sucked up by the probing. The way the tripods just like kind of like lean down to the floor, it looks really menacing, and they just start like, you know, molesting the floor, you know, sucking up all the people with the giant tentacles. But you can do all of that. I mean, you can do the type of probing you're thinking about, but the probing where they, you know what I mean.
But apparently they don't do that.
Anyone want one of these? Anyone? Anyone?
They've even got people in cages. Now, do you remember those cages that sits on the back of the tripods? Now, they didn't really explain it too much in the film. Why did the Martians even need the humans? Do they need them for like the blood or like the brains? Like, I'm guessing they're like harvesting all the humans because that's what's turning all the vines and, you know, creating this like Martian vine blood red harvesting everywhere. I don't know, but what are they doing? What are they probing? I've got so many questions, but I can't believe it's in the game. It looks so cool. They've even got the weird vagina thing that sucks you up and actually kills you. Oh, just seeing all the people in the cage look terrified. Just, oh, it looks so good. Now, the aliens themselves, you can actually spot the aliens. Now, in the film, you did spot the aliens once in the basement where they're kind of just like interacting with all the human staff. One messes around with like a bicycle, if you remember. And that's pretty cool. But the fact that they're in the game, I'll put the alien design up on the screen right now because one of my favorite things from the Steven Spielberg adaptation that we're talking about, and obviously what the game's based on, is the alien design. It looks so freaky. It kind of doesn't make sense, but it just looks freaky.
Yeah, that's awesome. How are you doing that?
Well, using a bunch of raycasts and then determining which is the like after like a couple of conditions, determining which to use. So that's about it.
Nice. Are you using sphere casts or raycasts?
Some things I use sphere casts for, and some things are normal raycasts.
It kind of reminds me of the aliens from the Independence Day, because they've got kind of like that esophagus like looking head. Anyway, since we're talking about the tripods, the horn sound, the iconic, terrifying, gut-wrenching horn sound. Oh, god damn it, that sound terrifies me. It still does now. I rewatched the film, I'm still terrified. But it is still in the game. I can confirm the horn sound, the original horn sound, is in the game, but you can switch it.
So chat, I don't know if you saw it, we have the tripod design 2005 and 2003. So, or 2023, my bad. So that 2023 is just you guys' backup.
I'd say at this point it's like the tripod, and then at this point we just decided to make the 05 something like a mod or a DLC that'll be kind of like super easy to put in. That's the plan right now, at least until further notice, just because, you know, we haven't heard anything from Paramount. We don't want to like jump the gun and put it out with just the 05s or anything. So this way it's like we get the best of both worlds and we play it safe, and yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, I was actually going to ask if you guys have heard anything or run into any trouble since, but that's cool that everything's been smooth sailing. It's probably almost weird that it's been like complete silence.
They did say they haven't had any cease and desist letters from the actual company or, you know, the original people that own this IP. So it's looking pretty goddamn good. So at least you've got that option there. I can't wait for me to be just piloting this tripod. I'm going to be blasting that horn every minute. It's so terrifying. So, when is this game being released? By the way, I've still got my coffee. This whole video, it's lasted this whole video. Now, looking at all the footage we've seen in today's video, it looks like it's going to be coming out within the next year or two. It's already been in development for quite some time, and the legal side of it isn't looking too bad. Now, from the footage we've seen and the footage they released a year ago from today, it does look insane. Like the details they've shown and just everything in between. Plus, by the way, this was a year ago. So like, imagine what it looks like now. You can actually see a lot of people already playing this game as like a demo of some sort. Now, my expectations for this game isn't too crazy, and I don't mean that in a bad way. All I want is a horror survival game set in this universe I've always dreamed of, you know, having the Martians and the tripods. It just looks so exciting. Now, because the version this is based on, the 2012 one, which is definitely my favorite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the 1950s versions because they did it with all like the miniature models, and again, the snake-like crabs. It used to freak me out as a kid. My dad made me watch that when I was too young. God damn, my dad traumatized me as a kid. Again, don't forget to check out the official channel. I'll link it in the description, and check out Void Boys so you can see the whole interview if you want to, you know, actually see the full thing unedited. The devs have really poured their heart and soul into this game, so if you're into all that, go check their official channel or even join their Discord if you're into that. Again, I'm sorry I've been away for so long, but yeah, I just wanted to make this video to get the word out there because this game looks insane, and I guess it's kind of like a love letter to the devs themselves. Devs, if you're watching this, appreciate ya. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I'm gonna give you another chef's kiss. Anyway, I'll say it again. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, what version do you like better? Are you excited? I don't know. Call me a pineapple for all I care. Anyway, it's been your boy Sketch. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you're into my thing, don't forget to ring my goddamn ding. We've had over 800 subscribers. It's insane this past month or two. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna be back streaming soon. I'll see you guys in a bit. And yeah, stay sketchy, lads. My guy just came into my room. I've got no food, okay? Mwah. I'm sorry, Bessie. I can't play with you. Daddy's busy.